Hello Internet, it's me, Chris Sambrook here with a quick spoiler-free review of Borderlands. You know, that movie everyone is pooping on right now, including a ton of people who have not even seen it. So, let's try to be fair here. The basic plot follows Lilith, a bounty hunter who reluctantly returns to Pandora to help the CEO of Atlas Corp in a search for his daughter, Tina, who has been kidnapped by the radicals Roland and Krieg, as she predictably learns that that is not the case and that the wealthy tycoon is in fact the bad guy. She teams up with the good guys to protect Tina, the so-called daughter of Eurydia. The bad guy comes, they face off, roll credits. Yep, it's that simple. The twist in the movie is completely ruined by the fact that it is stated within the first few minutes of the very first game that Lilith's class is a siren. So all the video game fans will feel bored waiting for that revelation. It feels like they took the general concept for the first and second games, mashed them together, and made the villain a boring version of the sinister Handsome Jack. Hollywood also destroyed the timeline and lore of the game, and there is a sad lack of inclusion of Brick and Mordecai. But if you take away the many issues coming from the changes from the game, as a standalone movie, the story is still very predictable and lazy. It feels like it was made to cater to children more than anything else. The games had a lot of raunchy, dark, and downright silly jokes throughout the entire franchise. The jokes in the movie, however, felt far more juvenile. And I have to say it, the foreshadowing is anything but subtle. I did find myself wanting to skip the cutscene from time to time. I will say that Jack Black as Claptrap and Florian Montagneux as Krieg are the highlights, which kind of sucks considering they're only side characters. And I'm sorry, but Cate Blanchett is way too old to play Lilith. Even if you're just referring to the movie's Borderlands universe, it's hard to believe that someone that is visibly only 10 years younger than Jamie Lee Curtis could potentially have the age gap of mother and child as portrayed in the flashbacks of the movie. And let's face it, Kevin Hart only ever plays Kevin Hart, so him as the calm, calculated, and stoic Roland is the worst possible casting ever. I'm not saying that Idris Elba would have fixed all the problems in this movie, but he would have made one hell of an improvement as Roland. On the other side, Jamie Lee Curtis tried, and somewhat succeeded, but is that even good enough? And let's not forget how Tiny Tina in this movie is not anywhere close to as crazy, cute, and lovable as the game version. Emphasis on the crazy. Come on, Hollywood. Casting is important when there's existing media. Get your crap together. To get to the overall pros, the set design was impressive, and there were video game Easter eggs throughout the entire movie. And while those Easter eggs may not fit within the timeline of the game, neither does the script. So take that as you please. This is yet another movie that relies on spectacle to keep your eyes on the screen, and it does it well enough to keep you from getting too bored. The cons, however, might be felt the same by both the original fans and regular moviegoers alike. The script feels like it was written by either an ADHD child or a producer who's unfamiliar with the franchise but was given a checklist of things to include. And with the way Hollywood is run, I'd believe either or. The casting is completely wrong, and as much as I love Jack Black way too much, I can't defend their choice of putting him in this movie when there is at least one of the 3 video game actors that would have been perfect for the role of Claptrap. This is what happens when you take a video game franchise that is rated for people 17 and over and made it into a family-friendly movie. It just went from carnage to crap. Personally, as a standalone movie, I give this a 4 out of 10, and as a fan of the games, I give it a 2 out of 10. The CGI is good most of the time, and the props are far more faithful to the game than the script. It can be funny from time to time, and has a good soundtrack that is reminiscent of the game. Also, Claptrap feels so iconic at this point, it would be a shame to miss out on his scenes. So if you think video games are overrated, love a good spectacle, and a laid-back story, then heck, you might even enjoy this. Borderlands is in fact in theaters now, although maybe not for too long.